Hi, my name is Evan Mozingo,
And I'm Chris Platte.
and this is the monthly REDI report for May 2020. Well, Chris, it has been a couple months since we have done a REDI report, and we do apologize for that. But as you can understand, we've all been dealing with a pandemic. It's been a really interesting time, but we're glad to be back together and able to do this and share some interesting things that have been going on with you.
Right. It's been, like you said, an interesting time, as everybody understands. And so while we have not been focused on producing a REDI report, we have been working very hard for our existing industries. One of the first things when the pandemic hit and all the shutdowns started to happen is the industries, they're very good at making their widgets. They're not good at handling some of these type of things without some assistance. And, it was a very confusing time. The rules were changing almost daily. And so Ron Mail, our existing industry coordinator, assistant director here, and I were working very hard to make sure that they had all the paperwork ready, things for their employees to put in the dashboards, ensuring that they were essential. We were lobbying very hard with the Department of Commerce as well as the governor's office in trying our best to make sure that manufacturing, at least in our opinion, was essential. And if you didn't have it, you didn't know it was essential until it was shut down and gone. And there was many cases that we had where we actually really leaned on our existing industries. Some of those guys produced products for us that people had changed their manufacturing processes altogether, or they had a source to get stuff for the county that they needed or for someone else. We had a situation where Harris Teeter provided through the distribution center a lot of bleach for us for our nursing homes so that they were able to keep things clean. We also worked with Dream Chaser Brewery was one of our great allies in this, and they were able to produce hand sanitizer for us. And so we had some nice, well-marketed, hand sanitizer from the Dream Chaser folks. And so we were using that internally within the county for our first responders and emergency personnel. The Decorative Specialty, there were so many companies. But Decorative Specialties is one of those that they gave up virtually half of their supply of dust masks through this process, really potentially putting their manufacturing in jeopardy where they were going to have to shut down by not having the proper equipment. They were able to continue to operate. And just the generosity across the board from Goulston Technologies, Griner Bio One. We've had Liquid Ice come and help us. We've had Dunn Manufacturing. It's just been a wider range of companies, and I'm probably missing several in that. So I apologize to anybody that we have left off. But it has just been very moving to me to see how everyone has joined together and really reached out. Some reached out to us and just saying, how can we help? So it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's really been a unique response from so many companies that have stepped up and done their part to make this a safer place for all of us through all this. Well, regardless of a pandemic, we are pleased to say that we have many projects that are moving along despite what's going on. And that from an economic development standpoint, that's obviously what you want to see during something like this.
Yeah, the activities dropped pretty significantly year over year, but that's expected in this as people are adjusting and holding off on decision making. But the activity level is surprisingly high considering what is going on. We've got some really interesting clients. A lot from foreign countries, which is very nice to see, looking to make a base here as the U.S. is probably more of a safe haven for manufacturing going forward. And so we're excited with that. The spec building seems to have a lot of interest right now. So, it's been a good time for us considering the headwinds that are there due to the COVID-19.
Well, Chris, one of the things our office has had to do is get really creative and innovative with how we interact with clients and our audiences for many of our mediums. One of the things you've come up with, which I think is really great, is a podcast. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so we're going to basically put into place a new podcast, focus on things that are happening not only here in Union County, but throughout the state. with bringing some of our allies in to talk to us.
Right.
Give it their perspective on what is going on. So it's basically this constant touch with sort of the activity and the pulse of the business community. And so we thought that would be a good way to communicate to everybody and provide information again about Union County and keep us top of mind for folks as they're looking, as projects emerge. So we're excited to bring that new edition on. One of the things too is, because of the podcast, because of other opportunities for us to reach out to folks in this new medium, Zoom and GoToMeetings and stuff, that we've upped our technology, so we're able to do a little bit more. And for lack of a better term, like almost a Zoom room kind of environment now, so we can interact with our board members, we can interact with our clients, we can interact with a lot of folks in this new video world that we're going to be in versus just by phone call. Since in-person is still going to be limited for a while, just more difficult to move around and get to people. We are excited to see it open up and interact with people. That's
Definitely.
what we are as social beings, but at the same time, there are going to be some limitations, and the new technology allows us to get out to clients, even like on the West Coast, to have interactions with them. So our traditional mission trips are going to be a little bit different now, and so we're trying to fit and evolve into this new world.
And it may even mean virtual tours of property.
Absolutely, that's exactly. That's one thing we're working on too. Is we already have the drone capability. Evan's our drone pilot, and he's able to do a lot of things, either within the buildings or around buildings, around sites. But now we're going to have to do a lot of things kind of live and in person, or even just kind of walk someone through the building. Holding a camera or being able to connect to the drone footage. So it'll be a work in progress as we go forward, but we're excited about it.
Certainly keeping us on our toes, which I guess keeps us motivated to do what we do best.
Absolutely.
But we do appreciate you being here to watch the monthly REDI report. And of course, we'd like to thank the Union County Economic Development Growth Enterprise for their support in making the REDI report happen.
And remember, the best investments are made between Marvin and Marshville.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks.